What is up, you guys? Diggerdan here, coming at you with another video. Today, I'm doing a book haul for March of 2024. So without further ado, let's dig into it. Now, I know some of you are probably looking at the calendar and realizing, Daniel, it's halfway through April. Why are you doing a book haul for March? Well, viewer, I appreciate the question, but that's just somehow, that's just how long it took me to finally get it. And you can already see these are books that I've been accumulating for April that you will see in my April book haul video in probably about a month, in halfway through May, I'm sure. So today I have 9 books. Most of them are fantasy. I do have a couple of different books. Like I actually have a couple gardening books that I was interested in getting into because I live in America. I actually live in Michigan in America. And it's April, and we've actually been having really nice weather, and it's been really giving me the green thumb bug, I guess you could say. So without further ado, let's dig into book number 1. So these first 2 books I have, I'll show you. First one is Black Unicorn by Terry Brooks. These I both got from a used bookstore. I was actually trying to see if they had any of the Cradle series from Will White, because I heard good things about that. And I've heard because I've read a lot of Solo Leveling lately. If you've watched any of my previous videos, you probably mentioned me or saw me mention that somewhere. And that to me is really great, like lit RPG. And I heard that the Cradle series is really great for that as well. Kind of one of the first books, or kind of like the pioneers of that. So that's part of the reason I want to do that. Spoiler alert, I did not find any Will White from it. This bookstore is a local one, and they have mostly like older stuff, which is fine because I had to find a couple, obviously. And right now, I am reading Terry Brooks's Sword of Shannara. If you watched my April TBR video, you know I'm looking at that one. So Black Unicorn, I really honestly got it. 1, because Terry Brooks, but 2, like the cover just looks really interesting. And the synopsis was kind of similar or interesting. And I saw it said a Magic Kingdom of Landover novel, and I thought that was interesting. And I didn't realize until I got home that that means that this is in a series. Well, I knew it was in a series because of that, but I didn't realize that this is the second in a series. So I don't even think I can technically read this yet until I get that first one. So anyway, first book is Black Unicorn by Terry Brooks. Now, book number 2 from that same bookstore is Guy Gabriel Kay's The Lions of Al Rasan. I'm really excited about this one because this one I believe is a standalone. And if you watched my 10 authors I'm most excited to read for the first time, Guy Gabriel Kay was one of those authors. And I have the only other Guy Gabriel Kay book I have is The Darkest Road, which is the 3rd book in a trilogy. So I can't even start that trilogy with that book. And I saw that Bryce from Self-Centered, from Shelf-Centered, also was potentially reading this book for the month of April, which I just thought was so cool because I already had gotten the book. I'm like, wow, I know that book. Where at the time, this is when I picked this up off the shelf, I saw it because of Guy Gabriel Kay, of course, but this was the first time I actually saw this cover and this title. So I just thought that was an odd coincidence. Book number 2. Now, this next little lot of books I all got at a library sale or book sale where they sell used books to try to raise funds for the library. So the first book out of that lot is Raymond E. Feist's The Talon of the Silver Hawk, or book 1 of the The Conclave of Shadows. And I believe Raymond E. Feist was also one of those authors from that book, or that video I was talking about, where 10 authors I'm most excited to read for the first time. And so I can actually start reading his stuff with book 1, because I think, what was the other book from Raymond E. Feist that I had? I don't know, doesn't matter, but this one sounds more interesting to me. Now, book 4 to me might be the most interesting one out of my entire haul here today. This is the Year Best Fantasy. This is the first annual collection, and this I think I was trying to find the date. Yeah, this was from 1987. which is crazy. I think that's the year my parents got married, now that I say that, because it's 7-11, 8. Yeah. So this book is as old as my parents' marriage. So congratulations, parents. You guys are, I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say there. But what really caught me is there's a couple authors I actually recognized, like Stephen Brust. This entire bookshelf here, if I can turn myself the right way, this entire shelf there, that's all Brust. I got a bunch of the Vlad Taltos books. That's like from here all the way to this yellow book. And then past there is some elf stuff. I forget what they're actually called. And then even on top of those, these two, wow, Daniel, good job. Those two right there, those are also Brust. So I just thought that was really interesting. I didn't know he wrote any short story stuff. And then I also saw, you can't see this, but I also saw Ursula K. Le Guin, saw George R. R. Martin. I've heard of Jane Yolen. I'm not sure. And like I said, they're all collection of short stories. I think they've made more of these since, and I think that's like fantasy and horror now, or maybe fantasy and sci-fi. I could be wrong. But this is the first time I saw any of these, so I just was really interested in that. And, of course, it's hardcover. It's got cool illustration there. And yeah, so I don't know if I'll ever read this cover to cover. Maybe I'll only read a couple that interest me, like from Brust or Ursula K. Le Guin or from Martin. We'll see. If you guys, let me know in the comments if you want me to try to do a review on this entire book. Or maybe if I should just sprinkle in a short story here and there. I think that could be interesting. All right, book 5 might be the one I'm second most excited about, which is Soul Music by Terry Pratchett. I haven't seen any hardcover Terry Pratchett before, so that's interesting. This is what he looked like at the time of this print. And this was a printing in, I don't know if it's first edition. That'd be really cool if it was. But it was printed in America, so I don't believe it is because he's a British author. This is copyright 1995, and that is the latest date on there. So, yeah, I am not caught up on my Discworld, so I probably won't read this one for a minute because I think this is like the second, third, maybe even fourth book out of the Death cycle or saga, whatever. So, and I've only read the first 2 books. I've read The Color of Magic and The Light Fantastic. I can't remember which one is first and second. And I plan on reading them in publication order. I know a lot of people say, oh, start with Guards, or start with, I forget what the first Death book is. And I don't want to do that because I don't want to read the best stuff first, because then if I ever get around to reading like book 1 and 2, then I'd be really disappointed, right? So I like to watch a character, or excuse me, I like to read like a character or an author's growth. So, and I did like the first 2 books from Terry Pratchett, so I'd be very interested to eventually get to Soul Music. But yeah, we'll see. I just loved it because it's some like author I actually recognize, and it's hard. I don't know. I just never saw hardcover Terry Pratchett, because now for me, at least here in America, a lot of the ones I see now are here, like the really weird covers, like the weird mass market paperback covers, which I don't like. But whatever, it's really the words inside that matter, right? It's the story itself. So anyway, that is book number 5. Now, book number 6 is the last book I got from that library book sale. Stephen R. Donaldson's The Mirror of Her Dreams. This is the first book in a duology of Mirror of Dreams, or Mirror of Her Dreams. And I think the second one's like Mirror of His Dreams. I'm not sure. But this is a chunker. This is a very, very thick book. But it's only like 600 pages. So it's like the margins are kind of generous. I don't know. So, but I'm interested in this one. One, because it's the first one, so I could actually read it right away. But 2, because you can sort of see right there. I do have the 2 trilogies of, I could just look in here. It was, I feel dumb that I can't remember off the top of my head. The Chronicles of Thomas Covenant. So, like Lord Fowl's Bane, The Power That Preserves, like all those. So it's the first Chronicles is that one, the red, blue, green, and the second Chronicle is the magenta, gold, and blue. So I have yet to read those. I tried to read Lord Fowler's Bane when I was a teenager, but like the prose was just so dense. I don't even know if I made it like 50 pages in before I put the book down. So yeah, I don't even, yeah. So if me saying that, it's like, why should I pick this up? I'm like, I don't know, maybe this one would be better. So, yeah, we'll see. So this is book number 6. And now these last 3 books are all books I actually got through work. So my job, sometimes like our managers like give us celebrate points depending on performance and things like that. So over the last few years, I've gotten a couple hundred celebrate points. And I finally decided to use those on some books. So the first one is Conan the Victorious by Robert Jordan. I plan, like I said, if you watched any of my videos, I've probably mentioned Wheel of Time and Robert Jordan at some point. Wheel of Time is my favorite series of all time, and Robert Jordan is probably my favorite author, living or dead. And so yeah, I saw this on there. They have like a weird catalog of books where I didn't realize this until after the fact, after I got this one, that Conan the Victorious, I think, is like the last book Robert Jordan wrote in the Conan whatever. And I think you should read them in order from what I've seen. I'm not sure. So this is like the 7th book out of 7 that he's written, so I can't even read it until I get the first 6. But again, it's Robert Jordan, so I just had to have it. And I think it's technically he wrote this before Wheel of Time. I could be wrong. But regardless, I just had to have it. All right, now book 8 and 9 are those kind of 2 gardening books I was talking about. Again, the ones I kind of got through work. Greenhouse gardening, very different than what I normally read. Clearly, I read vast majority fantasy, sci-fi. But like I said, it's getting real nice out here in Michigan, and I'm extremely excited to get outside. I don't even have a greenhouse, but this one was like very cheap points-wise. And I know eventually my wife and I probably want to get a greenhouse type stuff. But even just, it's very small and quick, so even just expanding my knowledge a little bit, if I learn something, I think that's worth it. And the last book is number 9, also gardening, much bigger, but it's got nice pretty pictures that you can't really see all that well. And this is definitely more informational. This one is the Complete Compost Gardening Guide. Like I said, I enjoy gardening. It's one of the reasons I don't read as much in summer. It's because I enjoy spending time outside. I enjoy growing things. Something that I find is very satisfying is growing your own food. Like even if it's just tomatoes or peppers, it's not something to get me all through winter, that's not something I'm going to survive off of, but even just the satisfaction of eating literally the fruit of your labors, I think is just really fun. And I know next to nothing about composting, so I figured this would be a great opportunity to learn some more. So anyway, that is the total of my 9 books I got for March. As you can see, I got a ton. It's up here, just on that top shelf. I got a ton coming up for my April haul, and it's only halfway through the month, so who knows? Maybe I'll go on some more thrift hauls with my wife. Maybe I'll visit some more libraries that are selling some books. But yeah, how'd you guys think I did this month? Anything that really piques your interest? Something that you really want me to review ahead of everything else? Something that you read that you really enjoyed? Something that you think I should stay away from? Yeah, let me know in the comments down below. I know a little bit of chaos in this video, but hey, wouldn't be chaos if it wasn't me. So I appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you so much. If you enjoyed this video, please hit like down below. If you guys want to see more from me, Diggerdan, please hit that subscribe button as well as that bell notification icon so you guys know when I upload each and every single time. And I'll see you fools in the next one. Thanks for watching.